My name is Birol Yeşilada. I'm a professor of political science. I'm receiving the Presidential Career Research Award. In political science, the basic focus is government. What kind of governments emerge historically, going all the way back to Magna Carta. My specialization is in political economy. So at the global level, I study what is known as power transition, rise and decline of nation states. Now, I think it's a very exciting time. Democracies are under attack. Authoritarian regimes are on the rise. What does this mean for world order? What about the future for our children and grandchildren? My research on the European Union has been addressing determinants of European regional integration. We were able to empirically, scientifically show how progress in regional integration can be measured and the determining factors identified. For many years, we have been able to do this for conflicts, from neutrality to total war. But we have never been able to determine the factors behind integration in a scientific manner. We were able to do that. And at the beginning, you need a regional leader with resources, just like the United States after World War II. And in Europe, it eventually led to European Union. Then as integration deepens, a regional leader is no longer important. After a common market agreement, moving forward to economic, monetary, and then fiscal union, if it happens, two other factors become very important. Trust of citizens in European institutions above their nation-states governments becomes very significant, and convergence of social values between nations. In my research, I found out that it does matter whether a society, a country has genuine democracy with democratic values embedded in the citizens versus institutionalized democracies without those values. If you want to see how a democracy can collapse so quickly, look at Turkey. And that's because the country was predominantly institutional democracy with majority of citizens not having those democratic values. Just taking a part in elections does not mean you have genuine democracy. Ron Inglehart came up with two measures. They're compound variables. One goes from secular values to traditional values, and the other axis will go from materialist, survivalist values to postmodern, post-industrial values. So you can map the country's motion over the years of how these things are changing. We can, for the first time in the study of modernization theories, empirically show that the more modern societies, more developed societies, tend to be post-industrial and more secular. 75 to 80% of variation in social values of societies can be accounted for by changes in these two dimensions. The United States, we came very close to a challenge of our democratic system 4 years ago. We survived it. I would argue that we survived it because we have an embedded, genuine democracy in the sense people care. We're able to fend off threats to democracy. But what does the future look like? If you continue having a society that is less and less aware of their civic duties and their civic culture, is democracy in danger? I would say yes. But then I'm looking at world value survey results. There's a tremendous rise in how people identify themselves on the right, and worse. An increasing number of people think it is preferential to have a strong leader who wouldn't have to deal with elections or parliaments. Go figure. What motivates me in my study is research and pursuit of knowledge in and of itself. The more research I do, the more questions come up. If I can make a little headway in contributing to the knowledge base, I'm happy.